Do it.
That's thick glass right there.
Do it. Do it.
All right. Hey, Internet. Sorry it took so long to get going there. I had some stuff I gotta still finish setting up here, but we are doing a thing. It's Dungeons, it's Dragons, it's SideQuest Live. Thanks. A big shout out to everybody who's listening to this after the fact on podcasts. Love it. Spread the word. Thanks so much. It is available in audio podcasts everywhere you can find a podcast. Podcast. I say that funny, don't I? Anyway, so yeah, shout out to Utah. I see what you're doing there, Utah. Yeah, I see you. I hope to be in you later. Anyway, but more on that later. So tonight I'm going to be the DM for some Dungeons and Dragons. It's a homebrew campaign we've been working at for a while now, but tonight is a little twist. So thanks for kicking around and hanging in there and jumping in and joining us. Words. Hey, let's get to the other people here who make this so much more fun. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so that's I think tonight warrants a little bit of like a pump up because tonight is going to be different. We are not playing our usual characters with one exception, and that's going to be Rook. So campaign, we've had the twist, we've had the reveal, but tonight we're going to go and find out what is going on back in Tasvrell. So that's where this is happening tonight. So we're going to meet the table, meet everybody here, and tell us a little bit about your character. And we're going to start this party off with none other than Rook himself, Gordon.
The real
Hey.
The real
Gordon
Rook.
playing real Rook back in Tasvrell.
I wanna be a real Rook.
Yeah. I haven't played him in a really long time, actually. But I'm sure I'll get to the swing of things, and looking forward to kind of moving things forward and seeing what he can do with everything that's going on.
Yeah, everything he's learned in the last little while. All right. Awesome. And of course, a little bit about Gordon before we move on. And I mean Gordon. Also maker of board games and such. So don't forget to plug that whenever you get the chance.
Thank you. Yeah, recent one is Lost Ones, and it's widely available right now. It's like if you like choose your own adventures, that kind of style storybook, coupled with kind of map tile exploration, that would be your jam.
Nice. Absolutely. Now we're gonna jump over next over there at the far end on the screen from what where I'm looking. Let's go meet Bela. And Bela, today you're gonna be playing somebody new, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I'm going to be playing Tuog. And
Sorry.
That's a great name.
I know.
Yeah, I love it.
That's hilarious. I love it.
You have reduced the table to giggles.
I'll take it. So Tuog, he is a half-orc barbarian. And yeah, he's I don't know what he is yet because I just created him about 20 minutes ago, but we're gonna see how he develops over time. We'll see.
Full disclosure, I messaged the whole group on Discord. I'm like, quick, everybody but Gordon, get another character ready. And maybe another one after that. So I've been stretching their creativity. You know what? It's fun to dust it off and see what you can come up with in 20 minutes or less. All right. So speaking of which, hey, Steve, who are you going to be playing tonight?
Well, the first of the two characters I made in the last 28 minutes is Sir Islak Neutron. Sir Islak Neutron. He is an Aarakocra Ranger. And that's about all I know about him right now. He's kind of blue.
Nice.
He's like if the president from the Muppets was, a ranger in DnD. So he's an eagle who is blue and can fly and shoots arrows, and that's about as far
You're going to be nowhere near anything. And we're starting at level 6, so if you took sharpshooter, You're like 500 meters away from everything, just raining arrows. People are just gonna be like, "What the?" We'll see if that pans out.
I don't know. I just clicked buttons, and this is what happened.
Fair enough. All right, so and that brings us round to Carl. Carl, who are you playing today?
I will be playing Pander Underfoot, a halfling rogue. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now until we introduce the character in the game there.
All right, that sounds perfect. All right, so let's dive into tonight's game, and we're gonna start it off with Rook just after a word from our opening credits. Also, before I forget, Internet, you are welcome and invited to take part in our games live. We watch the chat, or at least I do, and we try to incorporate viewer suggestions into the game. If we don't get to it right away, we do take notes. Contrary to what you think, Gord, I do take notes. Gordon is my notes, just so you know. I'll say something, he'll be like, wasn't it? And I'm like, yes. Hey, own it, right? Wrong and strong. But anyway, so Internet, you're welcome to take part in this too. And without further ado, let's dive into tonight, and we'll see what's going on. Here we go.
You see, Todd.
Reading notes is overrated. The beautiful city of Tasvrell is nestled in a natural harbor, almost like a sea crescent shape, with peaks on either side with a small valley nestled below. Forests, farmland, as far as the eye can see inland. A beautiful harbor filled with tall ships, successful commerce, people of all nations, all creeds, all races, finding a spot on what's sometimes nicknamed as the Rocks. High on the right, an old watchtower gleaming with magical beacon, shining the way for ships into the village, into the city. On the other side, what was once a prosperous portion of town, now crumbled in ruins, overlooking the more prosperous and vibrant areas down below in the center of the crescent. The far left, known as... Okay, Gordon, what's it called again? The Undertow. Absolutely. So, the Undertow, now fallen into squalor for a long time, and then decimated by a strange curse. The locals generally not spending their time, certainly not more than absolutely necessary, in the ruins that overlook the city. It's there that we join Rook, nestled in the bottom of a chimney, far beneath a crumbling old ruin. The house fallen into disrepair, almost shambles, almost impassable. Tiny little nooks and crannies, cracks amongst the crumbling brick, and the strong, tall chimney marking what was probably once a successful establishment. At the bottom of this chimney, in the dark, buried beneath, a tiny little hole open to the sky. And Rook, that's where you open your eyes. It's a gray day in Tasvrell, but the light above seems almost blinding. You've spent your time ducking from shadow to shadow, hiding in various areas of the Undertow, sneaking out to find food and try to put out whatever feelers you can for information. In the 3 times you've successfully left your tiny little hideout, you've each time narrowly dodged what you suspect is a patrol. It's hard to say what lets you know that these are people who mean you harm. It's something about the way they carry themselves. Groups of 4 usually, sometimes 3. Often human, but not only. And one of the times you're seeking a passage out to get some food, and you spotted a group. 3 humans. 2 of them wearing this unmatching armor that have, by all accounts and by all visual representations, not really together. Except the way they move through the streets of the Undertow. It's rare to see people up here anyway, but especially these 3 stood out like a sore thumb. Mercenaries, by the look of them. Well-armed, well-armored. And between the 2, a waifish girl. Also human. Probably not much more than 15, 16. Now she might be Undertow material. Except for her leash. Leather straps from various bind points on her wrists and neck and waist, leading back to one of the large mercenary humans. And around her head, you've seen falconers before. You've seen the falcons that they carry. The leather straps, the bind over the head, the eye covers. Except instead of being on a bird, they cover the head and eyes of this 15-year-old girl. She walks along, keeping pace with them as best she can. You get the impression that she can see her feet, but not able to look out. By the way, she starts to lift her chin up whenever she'd stumble over some of the fallen brick. A quick jerk of the leather straps, bringing her head snapping back low. A little murmur, almost too quiet for you to hear. Yes. All right. The other 2, casual in their demeanor, which almost makes it worse. As though they were out for a stroll in a park, except alert, keeping their eyes open. I need you to do a stealth check for me, retroactively, Rook. And if you roll a 20, by God. No, he's kind of important to the plot. That's true. 17. All right. You duck back behind a stone outcropping, probably part of an old inn. They don't appear to have seen you. They walk on, and you wait, counting to 200 before risking coming out again. Yes. You feel like you are being hunted. So, Rook, what is it you want to do?
Were those the only 2 that I saw lately? Is it just the 2 of them, or are there roaming bands nearby?
The other 2 times, they could have been city guard, It could have been mercenaries. You didn't get as good a look at them. The other ones, one of them you saw at a pretty big distance in the morning one morning, and then another you heard mostly at night, and you didn't want to give away your safe little crawl-out space, so you didn't come out to get a look at them. This is the first group you've seen. It's probably mid-afternoon on a bit of a overcast day.
Well, I'm gonna just murmur. I've already warned Garrax and Hilda. I'm sure they're doing fine against that one guy. Foslo.
It must be good.
They must be good.
They
Time
gotta
to
be
take
good.
these two guys out.
Yeah.
Right, Angel? I'm just gonna turn to my friend.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine, man. You got this. You got this.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, I don't need to eat. So they kept trying to bug
I forgot about that. See, notes.
notes. I'm gonna go start tracking them.
Sure. Do a survival check. We'll keep the old stealth check.
Okay.
Oh no, it's all good. Oh,
13, but I will actually use knowledge of a past life,
sure.
my past life, in these streets. Not so great, 14.
Okay. Well, the problem with Undertow is that stuff falls down and changes on occasion, or maybe someone will make a half-hearted attempt to clear a section to rebuild. And so at one point you take a left to try to cut them off, and boom, you encounter basically a fallen building that you can't seem to get around. So you have to backtrack for a while to try and cut them off. And by the time you do, they've kind of slipped past you, and they're now making their way back down towards the city proper at this point. You can see them, but it's going to be harder to catch up if you want.
How far away are they?
They're probably about 200-300 feet now. You kind of perch up on top of an old roof, and you're looking down, and you can see a street that kind of meanders. There was not a lot of civic planning going on in this place ever, so especially now it's a bit hodgepodge. So they're just making their way down the street right now.
I will try to see if I can close the distance, but I'm not going to be overtly risky. They're going in the direction I need to go anyways. I've kind of warned the others, and now my intention is to make my way to Calron, but if I can take these two out on the way, I will.
Sure. Go ahead and do one more. This time, actually, I'm going to get you to do another stealth check, just to make sure you can stay out of sight as they begin to move towards more populous areas of the city.
Whew, not so great, 13.
All right. So you are keeping your eye on them, and in doing so, you actually kind of miss a turn at one point, and then you turn your head, like you come around a corner, and boom, there's it's like a pop-up market area, not like a main thoroughfare or anything, but there's some stalls, and you see a few people there that you weren't really expecting, and you just kind of have to duck back. An old man kind of pushing a cart looks at you and, hey, you wanting any clams?
Good.
All right. And so you kind of get spotted by some of the locals, but so far so good. Nobody seems to have taken an undue interest in you, but you've definitely you're kind of out in the open in this stretch if you want to keep going towards. Do you want to? There does come a point where you can choose to kind of keep tracking them, although it is getting more populous now. So if you're thinking of like an assassin type thing, it's going to be really hard to get them where no one can see at this point. Or you can kind of veer off and start making your way to the to the richer districts where you had that meeting with Calvin.
Yeah, I won't risk it. I'll make my way to Calrun in the richer district.
Okay. As you're making your way through, you do have to go through a couple of guard checkpoints, and you're gonna have to kind of play it cool, or lie, or try to go unseen. How do you want to approach dealing with kind of these checkpoints?
I guess it depends on who's checking, right? If it's like kind of regular city guards that I'm kind of aware of, like regular, I'd probably just play it cool.
Let's do an insight check.
Okay. Nat 2029.
Damn.
There it is.
Not only do you see that, you take a look at these people and you're like, okay, guard, and you actually recognize one of them. You're like, okay, I know that guy. You've seen him around before. He used to skim off the top along with an agreement with the Thieves Guild that you're part of. So you remember his name. Internet, if you want to name it. Otherwise, I will. All right. You recognize him. His name is Gren.
And do you recognize me though?
If you keep going, he will see you and probably know you by name. Yeah.
I don't really want to be seen and recognized.
You could try to find another way into the rich district. Otherwise, you're gonna have to get past him somehow.
You know what? I'll risk it. If I know him, recognize him.
All right, state your business. State your business. Oi, I know you. It's Rick, right? Rook, that's it. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a bit. He spotted you.
Completely froze up there.
Oh no.
Sorry.
That's okay. So he greets you as he's kind of checking the people going through, and he's kind of letting the richer looking people pass, but if anybody doesn't seem to fit in, they either turn them away or have a short conversation with them, after which they seem to shake hands or do some kind of exchange, and then they let the people pass. So when it gets to be your turn, you're not wearing fine clothes, right? Actually, you've been sleeping in the bottom of a chimney for a week, so I must say you look a little rough around the edges. Pardon me. So, he looks you up and down and gets ready to turn you away when he recognizes you. And then he's like, "Hey, you can't come... Wait. Oh, I know you. It's, Rook, right?"
Yeah. It's me.
Mate, you're looking pretty rough.
Yeah, you know, I'm okay.
Business has been bad, I see.
Things have been better, but, you know, things are actually looking on the up and up going forward.
Huh. Well, good on you. And the other guard who's standing there checking people kind of starts walking over, and Gren kind of motions him away. It's like, I got this one. And he turns to you and he does a quick hand motion, which you catch as thieves can't. And he says, "Can you pay?"
I'm going to say, I'm going to have to take an IOU, but I'm good for it.
He says, "Off." Like he just in thieves can't. He's still got a smile on his face, and he's like, "Well, it's good to see you, man. Visit when you can."
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And then I'll, I guess, like, guys, I don't have any coin on me. I don't think,
You
anyway.
fled
So
half naked.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So you turn back into the poorer sections of the streets. The docks a little bit further back. Mercantile areas. There's the touristville. There's the market itself, and then of course the undertow. Where do you want to go?
I'm gonna have to loop around and try a different entryway, but this time I'm gonna try to stealth through.
Sure. Okay. So I need you to do let's do an investigation check. Find a better route.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Oh, you. All right. So you start making your way over to what is affectionately known as Pigeon Gate, and it's a little bit. Sometimes it's more costly to get through there. Like merchants and caravans go that way often, and the lineups are longer. But maybe you'd be able to slip in amongst a caravan. And as you're going, you're almost there when you spot this patrol again. It's actually the same two mercenaries and this woman. And now they don't, this time now that a more populous area, they have removed her face kind of covering, and she's got this very light kind of just a hood kind of dangling over, blocking most of her face, and no leash that you can see, but you can see that one of the mercenaries is busy holding her hand and walking her, and she's working hard to keep pace with him as he's still kind of scanning the crowd. You will need to do a stealth check or change directions. Your choice.
Stealth check.
Oh, there are other numbers, dude. So that is a natural 20 for a total of 31 for our at-home listeners. Dear God, man. You're just like, you time it so when a caravan goes by, when a bus goes by, there's now buses. When a caravan goes by, you just like disappear behind it, and then you kind of sidestep and then hop on the back of something for a little while and ride it until you're well and truly around them. As you're kind of hitching your ride on this wagon, you look back and you can get a really... Actually, do a perception check for me as well. Apparently, I like making Gordon roll, just to prove he rolls... Well, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx you. 12. Well, you don't get much of a look at the two guys. You get a bit of a better look at the girl, and she's just got this kind of... She's still wearing some kind of headband, but her eyes aren't covered. And she's got these brilliant, bright yellow colored eyes. And she's looking down at the ground most of the time, and then she looks up, and for just a second, she looks at you as you go past, even with a nat 20. And you just kind of lock eyes, and then her eyes drift back down to the ground. That's it. No reaction from her. Other than that, you step off the caravan on the other side of the guard gate, and you just walk along with the rest of the people entering, and you make your way into the Pigeon Gate. It takes a little longer, but you have now entered the richer area of the town. Eventually, you make your way up towards through the cobblestone streets. Up, it's now starting to get dark. They're lighting the street lamps in this area. It is magic, and so you see someone walk by and kind of motion this intricate hand motion towards the lamp, and starts to glow with this warm amber light, and they move to the next one, and so on down the street. and eventually you make your way up to that kind of half. It's almost a compound at the top of one of these streets where you had originally met with Calvin. And there's a gatehouse. And do you want to go up to the gatehouse? Do you want to try to stealth around, look for a back entrance? What do you want to do?
So I know that this is probably the gatehouse where Calrin's at then?
Yeah, it's the compound where you met him.
But knowing what happened the last time we were there, I am not going to be just walking in. So I will try to find a more stealthy route to enter.
Sure thing. I'll let you even keep the nat 20 because it serves my purpose. So you keep going. You're just in that zone. You're on a rhythm, and boom, you take a left. You kind of go past this other house and back around to where the compound back wall would be, and eventually find your way. It's not a blind alley. There's actually a good 15-foot, like almost a small roadway going around the whole thing. Beautiful gardens, and you can see these leafy vines draping over there, and you spot a section where the branch from one of the overreaching trees from the garden within is pretty low, and you figure out that's going to be your most stealthy approach. I'm going to need an athletics check or acrobatics check to successfully navigate your way through and up and over the back wall. All right. It takes you 3 tries. Unfortunately, you're just like, and then somebody comes along, and you actually just take the branch and hold it in front of you, and they don't see you at all. And then you manage to scramble your way up the branch, and it's definitely a shaky bit of. You're like a really big, clumsy squirrel for a few minutes, and then you onto the grass on the far side. Actually, you drop down absolutely silently, but you're down in the courtyard now. And you can see that same kind of, there's different outbuildings and then a main thing that actually, it resembles an old temple. You're not sure if it's active in service of any deity, but you see that's the place you went in, and there was an inner garden in that area and an office where you met Calron.
I'm going to try to make my way stealthily in, but I'm not going to try to necessarily just enter Calron's room, because that could cause all kinds of problems. But when we enter the inner part, I'm just trying to find someone that can get Calron, like someone on like kind of like the interior. Sure. In a position of some type of authority.
Now it is starting to get nighttime, so there are a couple guards towards the entrance you spot, but you actually spot a few other acolyte-looking people in robes, kind of maybe even vestments. You don't really follow too many religions, I don't think. Do you?
No, but would I recognize any of them from the previous visit?
Do a perception check. We'll see. Let the dice decide. 24. So it takes you a few minutes of watching from, like, just quietly standing in the garden, people not noticing you. And then after a little while, oh, yes, you do manage to spot that one guy. He led you. He was the one who met you at the entrance after everybody had been shaken up by that attempted assassination. And so now, he was the one who led you up to Calron's office. You're trying to remember his name, but I'm going to say his name is Ogun, if you remember correctly. So you see Ogun kind of marching through with a handful, like a bunch of scrolls under his arm, kind of walking kind of briskly on the edge of the garden on the far side. Not too many people around.
I'm going to try to approach him quietly, like discreetly. Okay. Or at least get his attention a bit, but without like alerting anyone else.
Sure. So we're pretty sure you pad successfully up non-discreetly along through the garden along the paths, and you kind of plan it so that you go down the left fork at the exact time when he's about to. So you should be able to intercept him pretty quickly and without much trouble. So what do you want to do once he's close?
Okay.
He's kind of mumbling away to himself. He didn't actually hear you. Try again.
Good.
No, he keeps on walking. You can now see he's a little bit past you. Your stealth check
I'll take
was
a pebble and chuck it at him.
Okay. Roll attack just to see how you do.
Okay. Oh.
28, a nat 20 for go ahead, roll the d4 for me. And your strength mod is what?
My strength mod is
not strength.
0.
My
dex mod?
Dex mod.
+5.
+5.
But
Okay,
I'm
so
not
that's
trying to hurt him.
I know, but it would be the equivalent of 9 points of damage. Unless, of course, you want to add sneak attack, because you can absolutely add sneak attack to that.
That could kill him.
Imagine assassinating a dude just by sneaking up behind him. So the pebble hits him square in the back of the head, and he stops and he drops all of his scrolls, and he whips around. He's like, and he's got this wand in his hand that he's pulled from within his robes, and he spins around. He seems super keyed up already, and he rolled a nat 1 on what would be his composure test, and you rolled a natural 20. So you can see that he's sweating profusely. He's kind of an older man, maybe in his 40s, maybe 50s.
Relax. If I was trying to hurt you, it wouldn't have been a little pebble.
And he points this wooden wand directly at you, and he's like, "Speak to. Who are you? Did they send you?"
You saw me before. Remember me? You took me to Kalran.
If you are, you're supposed to be halfway across the ocean by now, he whispers.
Mission went sideways.
All right.
We need to get to Kalran to warn him.
I will come with me. Come on. And he motions like his wand is like a weapon of some kind to like get you to march.
Just
in
kind of
front
like
him.
have my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's rubbing the back of his skull as he's going, and he leads you, not unlike where you were before, but instead of taking you into the actual office, he parks you in kind of a small waiting room off to the side, closes the door, locks it, and as he's closing it, he says, "All right, you wait here. Wait." And he mutters a bunch of words, and he appears to be you've been around spellcasters long enough. You recognize he's casting some kind of spell, and he kind of taps his own next to his head with the edge of the wand, and then he motions it out across the room, and he blinks, and he takes a good long look at you, and then he seems somewhat satisfied, and then he turns around. He said, "All right, wait here." And he closes the door and locks it on his way out. There is a window. It's kind of up high, but there is a kind of a bank, almost a whole section of walls, regular little windows. Fairly up high, though, mostly just allowing natural light in. And it's beautifully, if plainly, decorated. But other than that, it's a small holding room. You're waiting here for a really long time. And eventually, it might have been hours, days, if you want to do anything. Well, not days. Well, hours and days tend to blur together for you. But without the natural biological rhythms to tell you the time is passing. But eventually, you hear the keys in the door and it opens up. And in walks Calrun. And he doesn't say anything. He just looks at you, unfolds a pair of glasses, puts them on his face, waves his hand across them, and then looks at you again, holds up a hand as though, like, don't say anything. And then, after a long look at you, motions you. He turns around and in his crisp kind of, like his elvish way, says, "Well, are you going to wait there? Or are you going to come with me?"
Silently get up and I start following him.
Great. So he takes you over to his office, and then he walks to the back and pours himself a glass of elven brandy. And he turns back. "Would you like one?"
No thanks. I don't drink.
"Suit yourself." "All right. I think it's safe to speak. Why have you abandoned your mission?"
Didn't abandon it. Got intercepted.
And that's the first time he's actually turned and really looked at you since you entered his office. Do elaborate.
Well, as we were about to depart, we went to get supplies at a shop. And long story short, and I tell him what the shop, the name of it is.
Garrax.
The Garraxs. These brothers are shape changers, and they do work for the Inquisition. They pieced the fact that what we were getting stuff that, from whatever information they have, that we were doing something, and they kidnapped me, and one of them took my place and has been on the journey, swapped out the orb. Meanwhile, at some point, I was able to figure it out through a psychic connection with the ring that's in this lead. I hold up the lead kind of cup I likely have with them.
And he takes another look at that. And
I was able
everything
to
you say, you can see him just getting more and more like, he starts out like, okay, that's not too bad. And then you say the next thing, he's like, oh no. And then eventually he's literally like holding his head. He at one point sits down at his desk and is now holding his temples, kind of gently massaging them and sitting there being like,
The good news is I was able to escape, take the ring, warn Gex and Hilda about my stand-in. So they're probably doing something about it right now. And I evaded a whole bunch of agents and made my way here.
And you look at the glass and he's emptied the brandy at this point, and he's like, well, that is quite possibly the single biggest up I have ever heard. Wow. Just wow. So, Mr. Rook, may I call you Mr. Rook?
Sure, or just Rook is fine.
All right, Mr. Rook. What do you think we should do about it? As you have pieced together the Inquisition and the people I represent are at war. And your mission, and now this is a technical term, has been royally f***ed.
Well, there's two potential things that we could do. One, you know, obviously it's a royal fuck up and you could dismiss my services. Two, I'm in the mood for a little bit of vengeance. I kind of want to get back at them.
And this is probably the first time you've seen him look... Amused isn't the word, but certainly slightly less peeved. So, let me get this straight. They know of your mission to deliver the orb to a dragon on the island.
To a dragonborn, I believe.
The Dragonborn is the humanoid stand-in for one of the head dragons on the island. We believe he'd be to be some kind of sovereign.
Yep. They swapped the orb. They want to use it for their own purposes. The rest of my crew, now that they've been warned, are likely going to do something about it against the sole stand-in.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I don't fully trust the rest of your crew, or you. But we do need to do something about this. So they don't... Wait. What happened to the orb?
They took it. I don't know what they've done with it since.
That orb was one of a kind.
Or
As it
one
would
of
happen.
three,
Well,
since you...
we had redundancies in place. I believe they call it a shell game, where the real package is hidden in somewhat plain sight. 3 chances. Only one of them the real deal. We did not let any crews know which ones were the real ones, in hopes that they might be a little more careful. The real orb is a rather ingenious bit, if I do say so myself, of creation, arcane. It was meant as an offering, as a dowry of sorts, an offering of peace, an allyship, or at least an opening. Something that might entice one of such power as the Dragon Kings. It can communicate, it can teleport, it could... That was our best shot at being, at breaking this stalemate. And when our own crews kept being targeted, we thought we'd turn it to outside individuals. Truth be told, I wasn't even sure exactly which of the orbs was the real one. We've had a bout of spies, you see. In fact, one of the spies, double agent, he was a bit successful a few weeks prior to your employ. And we suspect that he gave some description of the capabilities of our offering. They had a switch ready.
Apparently, if this was such a precious and somewhat unique orb, they seemed very easy it was very quick to switch, right? The swap between me and the other shapeshifter probably had only taken a minute.
Well, they
because the
could've-
others were.
And the others haven't been compromised that you know of?
Not that I know of, but I spent the last number of weeks in a prison metallic suit.
Yes, I can tell by the smell. Right.
They likely still have the orb.
How would you feel about redeeming yourself a little bit? Getting a bit of this vengeance you seem to want. And he takes a real close look at you.
I'll look him straight in the eye and say, yeah, I want some payback. And I'll make good on getting that orb back.
You understand. It's not going to be easy.
I understand.
Well, I suppose as they say on the streets, there is no skin off my back, so you can try. I know a few individuals who may be able to assist foolhardy individuals, people who owe markers. We'll get you a little bit of assistance because I suspect that these doppelgangers are not in it by themselves. The Inquisition are a slippery lot. They seem to have their fingers in lots of pies. Right. Wait in the room I picked you up in. I'll let you know when we are ready.
Right.
Oh, and
Just kind of.
Rook,
Yeah.
let's not fuck this up.
Got it.
All right, so we're gonna do a cutscene over to you're all gathering in the office, and he calls you all in where you all meet for the very first time, and he brings you up to speed real fast. Let's meet the crew. Hey, everybody, welcome.
Greetings, Earth people.
Hello.
I am Sir Islak Neutron of the Sky People.
Nice meeting you.
Hi, I'm
Thank you.
Pander. Can I get you some tea? Some crumpets. May I shine your shoes?
Sorry, what did you say your name was?
Pander.
Lovely.
I don't know if you're talking, Bela, but I didn't hear anything.
I was laughing
Oh, okay.
at Carl's name.
Pander.
Tuog. I'll
that-
fight.
Good.
Man, a few words. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Enough with the pleasantries. This is Rook. You know who I am. We need you to get something for us. It's bound to be dangerous. You will be well compensated on return if you return. If your remains are found, you will be buried without a pauper's grave. Fine. Whatever. Otherwise, your debts are paid to us if this is successful. If not, well, good luck in whatever gods will claim you. Now, here is your target. And he makes a motion towards the desk, and an illusionary image of that store where you went and you saw, where you had this ill-fated interaction with, which is called Garrax. Garrax wares, and it's a magical shop, a pretty high-end magical shop, as Rook might remember. Well, best of luck to you, and if you need anything, ask for Ogun. I am busy. And Calran walks out.
I say in Half-Orc to see if anybody understands me. Who's the leader of this group? Anybody?
That's
Okay,
you,
would
Rook.
half be undercommon or?
I don't speak
Half-Orc.
orc.
It'd
I
be
see.
Orcish, yeah. Because while I speak common, I don't speak common well.
Right, okay, everyone. Here's the
So-
deal with the shop run by couple of brothers, shape changers. Likely have a bunch of mercenaries, lots of magic in there. Things that we could keep, if but our main target is getting an orb back that belongs to Calran. So let's get. So I'm good at a little bit of break and enter and stealth. What about the rest of you guys? Any key capabilities you want to mention?
Well,
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
stealth. Yeah, definitely stealth. Yeah.
We
Is-
got
is-
Rain Man Halfling over here.
I can fly. None of you can fly. I can fly. Flying is superior to all other forms of travel. What else do you need
Hit.
besides flying? I can hit
Hit.
Hit.
off the side of a bird's head. 1,000
Walk and
yards.
hit hard.
Hard hit.
I can get stuff.
Okay.
All right. So I think how we're going to run this is it's going to be a bit of a first of all, I need somebody to roll 2d6 for me.
We'll do it.
I'll vote for Rook. You get a nat 12.
7.
That's not bad on 2d6. A little above average. So you get 7 healing potions that they've given you. All right, Tuog, you've got a +1. What's your main weapon of choice?
My main weapon of choice
Besides
is a blah 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 great axe.
All right, your great axe is a +1 great axe, and you also have those bracers of defense. Sir Isaac, Neutron. Do you want random, or do you want, have something in mind for a starting bit of equipment?
Yeah, he would probably have made a point of seeking out some special longbow.
All right, so you got a +1 longbow, and I'm gonna say you've got 3 extra arrows. So those arrows, one of them's an arrow of entangle, another one is an incendiary arrow, and that starts fires. It's like a low-grade fireball, and the last arrow, let's say you roll a d100 to determine the random weirdness that happens.
Random weirdness. Engage.
All right. You don't have to do it. No, you roll it at the time you do it.
Oh,
It's like,
so it's the arrow of random weirdness.
yes, it's the arrow of random weirdness. As I punch my microphone, I'm sorry, interweaves. All right, Rook, you managed to piece together a better. They offer you a better pair of armor. It's leather armor, or studded leather, whichever way you prefer.
First studded.
Okay, so it's going to be studded leather +1, and you will also get your weapon of choice is usually a bow or daggers or what. As Elgin is asking you, Elgin comes in. He's still holding that wand. He's very nervous around you. What?
Yeah.
What would you like?
You know what? Short bow +1 if he has it.
All right. He gives you a short bow +1 and a dagger. The dagger is it's going to be a dagger that it's got runes etched along the blade, and he says if you activate it, it will be basically the same. It's got 1d4 charges a day. No, it's a once a day thing. Before sunrise or sunset, it's got to. You say these words on the side, and he coaches you through them, and it casts grease in it, centered on it though.
Grease?
Grease.
Grease.
The spell,
Okay.
not the musical.
Right.
All right, I'll stop. Sorry. All right. If that gets me a copyright notice, that'll be really funny. Anyway, and Pander, what do you want? Or do you want random?
Pander is indiscriminate in what he acquires, usually. He
Okay.
acquires whatever is available.
I'm going to say you have a let's go with a magical dagger +1. You've got boots of stealth, so that you get advantage on stealth checks. And I'm also going to say you've got a silk. I love this thing, and it came up in a recent game of Critical Role. You've got a silk cloth that you can unfold on any flat surface, and it would be a portable hole.
Yes.
I've always wanted one of those, by the way, even before it was on the stream. But anyway, and since you went random, I'm also going to give you a potion, but you have no idea what it does.
I love it.
The label's worn off. It just says mystery meat.
Excellent.
Okay.
So boots of stealth, you say?
Yep. Boots of stealth, so advantage on stealth checks, and +1 dagger.
It doesn't show anything on manage inventory for boots of stealth.
It actually says mystery meat. Yes, Darcy, it does say that, and I already know what it is. But I'm open to suggestions. All right, everybody. So I think how we'll do this is we'll kind of do it like heist music, right? And like it's almost Ocean's 11-ish, right? Where like you're trying to figure out your way in, and you've got, so you can do this a little bit on the fly, and I won't let do-overs happen, but we can do a short oopsie, I forgot. So if you want, I think you can all see the map, right?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So you have the basic layout. Most of it's off of Rook's memory, and you can choose how you want to approach this. Yeah, flashback rules. Exactly. And let's say I'm going to roll a d6. and that's the number of flashbacks before you can't flashback no mo. All right, I know, but you don't. So, what do you want to do? How do you want to approach this? Wild ideas, go.
Okay, guys. Well, they'll recognize me, so I'm gonna have to be on the down low when it comes to entering. To go try to find a back route in. I remember Gex had once taken an approach, and in my escape, there's a bit of a guardian gargoyle, but if we are quiet, Pander, we could make our way through and past. What about you guys, the two of you?
Well,
Do you guys want to just enter and pretend you're customers and distract them?
that is an option. I'm not terrible at stealth. However, my kind are not common anywhere on your plane, so being stealthy and being invisible are not the same thing. It may be wiser of me to try to fool someone than to hide from them here anyway. I'm not sure though what I'm not sure what approach I would take trying to fool them. Am I just shopping for armor? Am I shopping for some kind of trinket? What am I doing in there?
Could be just window shopping. The point is just to distract them, right? Keep them busy.
I can be distracting.
Very distract.
All right, so Isaac Neutron is going to be walking through, perusing the wares. You're already doing it. You're already walking through, looking at all the really high-priced magical items, and this little wizened old dude comb over. Picture the old wizard in the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon a little bit.
Oh yes, if you need anything, you just let me know. My name is Garrax.
And then
Garrax.
a little while later, you
kind of
see
cheap
another
wares
Garrax
are
walk
these
by.
Garrax?
Sorry, what's that?
What kind of cheap wares are these, Garrax? You call your shop an establishment of fine things? Yet nothing you have would fit a man of my stature, a man of my skills, a man of my breeding. Nothing lightweight enough to suit a man of the sky. You call yourself a purveyor of wide variety? Everything here is for the two-legged, no-winged. Show me something of interest.
I'm going to get you to do a persuasion or deception check. It's your call.
This one. Persuading. Oh god, no, I don't know this guy's character sheet. +3.
Those three. All right. So what's your total?
No. Yeah, so 22. Yeah.
22. Damn. All right. So the con seems to be working, and you're doing persuasion. You actually want to say it. And he's just like,
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I did not mean to be presumptuous. Of course, we keep our lesser goods out for the random people. We do have a kind of a higher end area, if you would.
Do you see the color of my plumage? Do you see it? It is royal blue!
Yes.
Royal!
I have always
blue.
enjoyed royal blue. Although
Do you understand?
I've always been a little more partial to the color gold.
You sad, childish, sad person.
Yes.
I have gold. He'll kind of jingle his gold purse. I have the gold. Do you have something that befits creature with the lineage that provides him with a plumage of royal blue.
In this moment, what is your intent?
My intent is to make him think that I am someone special. That's really it.
You really do stand out. I do love that color on you. Well, come with me. I will show you our second tier zone. Come.
As they're walking, I'm gonna pull on Sir Newton's frock or whatever you're wearing and be like, hit something.
Is this your? Is this yours?
It turns to Neutron.
Is what mine?
This large thing.
Are you not aware that the Aarakocra people do not believe in ownership? Nothing is mine. Nothing is yours. Nothing is his. We belong to the world. We belong to the sky.
Yes,
you don't belong
I
to the
just
sky.
need to
I
know.
belong to the sky.
All right.
Tuog, I need you to do a persuasion, some kind of check to convince them to bring you along. What's your goal here, Tuog?
Essentially just to like cause confusion because he's pretty confused. He's not totally understanding everything that's being said. He knows we're there to distract. So he's just gonna do his best to try to distract by asking for things that likely they won't have.
All right. I'm going to need you to do an intelligence check, please.
Okay. Let's do that. Come on, nat 20, because I need it.
Maybe Gordon could lend you one.
Yeah, really. Okay, well, no.
15.
Better than average, 15.
That's not bad. So,
Not bad.
Garrick kind of looks you up and down and then kind of gives his head a little shake. He's like,
Yeah, perhaps you would be happier at a different establishment, you large one.
Stay with Sir.
Oh,
Sir.
I see. You
Stay.
are with him.
yes,
Sir.
Sir?
I will stay.
No. I'm so confused. Let me know if you're looking for anything. My brother can assist you. I need to lie down a moment.
and he goes away, just visibly confused and kind of rubbing his temples. At that moment, boom, Rook kind of scoots. What are you doing now, Rook? You
I am trying-
and Pander.
So, I am trying to do a stealth entry. So I want to take a look at the outside. From what I've seen of it before, both in entering and exiting, and what I've gathered, how Gex made his entrance,
Mm-hmm.
I know they have at least one gargoyle on sentry. So I kind of want to, rather than just kind of go up and go at it, I kind of want to just take a moment to say, what's the best way to get in unnoticed, if there is any.
Well, you know that the second floor had that gargoyle up on the balcony, right around here. But they do seem, you look up there and you can now see 3 of them perched up there, one on each of the columns. So they're not messing around there. There did seem to be, you do a quick scout around, there's a back entrance kind of at this side, or possibly these curtained windows on the sides. that might provide access. Although you are aware this is a magically guarded house.
Yes. So I'm not interested in necessarily breaking a window, but if there's a lock that I can pick, like from a door perspective, where are the gargoyles again?
The gargoyles are up on the second floor.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, at the back. My bad. They're at the back. There's this one right here.
I don't really see. Oh, there I see it. Okay.
I don't know what.
And you're saying there's like two more?
There it is.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, and there are two more of them now. They seem
Okay.
to have increased security.
At the back.
And you can see them perched up on the back there, overlooking. Kind of. Oh, not four of them. That was just a mistake on my part. Okay. So
Okay.
your best bet. I mean, there does appear to be some windows. The only main doors are at the front and at the back, unless you go up to
Got
that
it.
second floor.
Okay.
There does appear to be an outer room, like an outbuilding, off and to the right, where you could go and check it. It's, I don't know, it's not up and to the right, the other side. So there's like a carriage house at the top, but that doesn't appear to be connected.
I see. Okay. Pander, what do you think? Cased around, they've got a few guards at the back. Got a reco on entering?
Yeah, I can go reco. Anything you want, boss. Anything you want.
Okay then.
Want me going back? I'll go in back.
Let's think about this carefully. Let's try to. Is there a chimney up top?
Yeah, there would be.
Well, I can fit in the chimney.
Maybe you know what you could do? Is if you go in through the chimney, I'll climb up, and then when you get in, you open a window and let me in.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. So we'll make our way up together, and then I've seen this. There used to be this really legendary thief, and he'd dress up in this weird red costume, and he would steal from the rich and give to the poor. Something claws or something. Whatever. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
So
With
there
a pen
appears
of
to be.
carbon-based energy sources.
There do appear to be three main chimneys in the place. Kind of two towards the front, one right at the front, way up here, another one at the side, and another one towards the back. Which of the three would you like to do? The first?
You'll probably
or
go to one on the side.
on the
Yeah,
side.
the side.
Okay.
Yeah, not the front or back. Yeah.
All right. So Pander begins to make his way over there. I'm going to need a stealth check and an athletics check to see if you're going to try to get up to the roof. You're going to need means to climb it. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
19.
19. All right. And I'm going to need, you're looking at, it's basically 2.5 stories tall. So do you have any climbing equipment? You can have basic rope and stuff if you need it, or you can just freehand it.
I'll freehand it.
All right. So you kind of wedge yourself in next to the outcropping for the chimney, kind of looking for handhold. I'm going to need an athletics check to see how well you can climb.
Ooh, athletics. Ooh. Eh,
All
not
right.
too bad.
14.
Minus one.
14 isn't too bad. So you're begin your climb, but it's taking a while. You get up a few little ways, and then slide back a bit, and then keep going. Meanwhile, during all of this, are you keeping watch, Rook? Are you going to join him? Or are you going to do a different approach?
I'm going to stealth. I'm trying to basically stealth over to his side. Sorry. And not right next to him, but basically, I guess that there's a curtain window. So like,
near,
I guess
near that side?
Yeah,
That's
like-
going to be the other
yeah,
side.
like over here.
Actually, the best spot for you to hide is actually well, you could kind of be next to the stable, or you could actually check out the stables, because there is a little doorway.
Sure. Like I'd probably like go through the trees, right, and then check out the stable, and then from the stable kind of scooch over there, like kind of in that path,
Absolutely.
kind of a reverse clock path.
Okay, so do a perception check for me and a stealth check, please. Oh, by the way, not that you need it with a 19, but Pander, you do have advantage on your stealth rolls.
Yes. My perception check is a 28.
Damn.
And my stealth is a 28.
All right, so wow, dual 28s. All right, and Pander got 17 on the stealth, so still pretty good, but take the first one. All right, so you go past the stable and you kind of poke your head in. You can actually see there's 3 or 4 horses in pens. There's a little fireplace there and a little spot for doing some basic repairs and tool work and so on. But you actually spot one of the you can spot this guy inside there, like a stable hand kind of guy, but he seems, I don't know, he seems to be actually with that 28, you recognize him as the patrol you saw at a pretty big distance, but with 28 you recognize him. It's not the guy who was following you around the first time, but he was one of the other patrols. And he's in there and he's kind of brushing down, finishing up, tidying up a horse. And it looks like he's just putting one of the horses away and gathering up his equipment. So there is a guard inside the stables, but he doesn't. You kind of glance in the door and then poke back, and he doesn't see you.
Got it. So something just to keep in mind if there's a tussle. So I'll continue to make my way stealthily.
Yep.
And I'll keep note of that.
All right, so you make your way to the edge of the house, and Pander's busy climbing. It's taking him forever to get up that wall, and just kind of wishing him all the best. But unfortunately, it's taken some time, and you're kind of sweating and waiting. All right. Meanwhile, inside, Sir Isaac, you are brought by one of these by these little weird old brothers. You are here if you're looking for them. Is the weird old brother. All right. What? You're blue Aarakocra, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you are. You're a little bigger than that. There you go. So that's going to be you. So he has guided you into a pretty fancy room, actually. This is not one of the rooms that Rook had described. It doesn't seem to be kind of the rooms described that he's seen before.
I'm just gonna quickly look at the windows because, if I need to fly away, I'm a bird. I think of these things.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
you can see no less than 4 windows in this place. He brought you up past these beautiful, ornate rooms, each room getting more elaborate as it goes up to the second floor, past a room with these chests all in a row, and a gilded dressing area with a curtain for privacy, a couple of wardrobes, and then he brings you into this other room and points around. He says, "See, look, lavish, fitting royalty.
Stop. You obviously have no clue. Is there not a balcony? Is there not a deck? Is there not a perch fit for avian royalty? Lock me not with a ceiling and walls. Let me sit and see the sky. Bring the armor to me there. And secondly, how do you fasten? By what technique do you sew the gussets of mail into your doublets, and how do you fashion your sabatons to your greaves? These things are important to me. Will you attach a lance rest to a pauldron with leather, or do you rivet it? These are things I need to know.
So it kind of goes into more and more details, and he can talk the talk. As he's going through, he's listing all these. Meanwhile, out in the hallway at the top of the stairs, Bela, your Tuog has been asked to wait outside as you're standing in a hallway. And you can see another man. You don't know humans that well, but they look pretty much the same. Just this guy's wearing different colored robes. And he kind of bumbles by, and he's doing that whole like dusting and rearranging things. But do an insight check for me there, Tuog. Tuog.
How
do you say?
I was gonna ask Tuog.
Yeah. Tuog.
I was gonna ask, does he like? I know I don't know humans very well, but do I understand that he's basically, you know,
he's definitely keeping an eye on you, expecting you to try shoplifting.
Okay, so I know that they're being, racist for lack of a better.
Legit. That's exactly it.
I'm gonna mutter under my breath in Orc. Stupid, puny, imbecile humans.
He doesn't seem to respond to that, although he gives you a pretty good side eye at the sound of the Orcish.
13 for my insight.
All right. You get the impression he doesn't need to stay here, but he's choosing to keep an eye. You're out in this hallway, kind of walking back and forth, waiting for Islak. And you're at the top of the stairs there.
Yeah, I'll bring out not my great axe or anything, but I'm gonna have like one of my hand axes and just, playing with it like, I'll give you something to be afraid of.
At the sight of a weapon, he kind of scoots a few more feet away and busies himself dusting a portrait on the wall, but further away. Just keeping a safe distance. All right. Next up, so you guys are keeping busy, and Islak, you did a pretty good job on your convincing earlier. So he says, yes, we do have some waiting rooms, or if you like, though we do have a balcony, we can bring out a chair.
Take me to the balcony.
Yes. And he walks you back out and through.
Perch? Not even a proper perch.
He walks you out,
and the railing will have to do.
And he takes you out past where Tuog. I think I'm saying that right. Tuog is waiting in the hallway, and he leads you out onto the balcony, which I've described before. And it's got these 3 beautiful statues sitting on the wall, right on the edge, overlooking, and you just feel better being outside. And he kind of motions, and the other brother kind of brings through, and he's now almost instantly just holding this kind of very fancy-looking chair, and he puts it down, and they both exchange a look, and then you can have a seat on that balcony between them.
You have very clearly never provided service to someone of my kind before.
We are very
There's much to learn about manners.
We'll try our best, sir. Now, we will go and get you some of that armor you wish, yes?
Yes. I wish to
Fantastic.
see the lightest, heaviest mail you have that is light and heavy at the same time.
They both give a little nod and go back inside. Tuog, they also motion for you to head out onto the balcony.
Yeah. I'll go out.
All right. So you sit down and they bring out not nearly as fancy a chair for you and sit you there. And you're both just sitting on the balcony in the breeze, looking at the statues. Kind of, they bring out a little glass of water for both of you, and then they kind of disappear for a while. All right. Meanwhile, back at the side house, Pander, you are finally up to the second floor. Third floor to the roof. You heave yourself up. I'm gonna need another either acrobatics or athletics check because there's a bit of a lip out to the edge of the window. Not the window, out to the edge of the roof, and then you need to get up on top of that. So make your roll, please.
25.
Damn. Okay, you brace and kick like a practice burglar up off the wall, and like vault up onto the. Kind of almost like on a parallel bar. Your feet pinwheeling over expertly above, and you land up on the roof. You can now investigate the chimney. I'm going to need you to do either acrobatics or athletics to squeeze your way in and down.
18.
All right. You pry the top off, no problem. It's wide enough for you, and you scoot your way down in like a very practiced cat burglar. And in short order, you find your way down to the first layer of the chimney. And the first opening is a large hearth with kind of a lion's head on the top of it as you kind of come out in this dusty chimney and brace yourself. You do notice that if you went kind of veered to the left in the chimney, if you were any bigger, by the way, you wouldn't fit down here, but you managed to squeeze, small as you are, into this tiny space. And you kind of scoot your way through. You could veer left and try to descend further into a lower level, or you could try to get it out at the what is equivalent to the second level.
I was supposed to open a window for Rook.
Yep. First floor or second floor? Your choice.
I'll go to the first floor.
All right. I'm going to need another acrobatics check on squeezing through without getting stuck.
Ho, ho, ho.
So that's a 14. All right, it's going well. And then at one point, your kind of slightly bigger bottom gets stuck. You're dangling upside down. Your blood is rushing to your head, and you're just like, you wiggle furiously, and a couple of buttons pop off of your vest. And you wiggle past this really super narrow part. You do manage to get through, but it takes a little time. Outside, Rook is getting pretty impatient. All right. Eventually, you make your way down to the first floor. I'm just going to scoot you both over to the first floor, where you manage to pop out of that chimney, and you are in a very opulently decorated dining room, but it's got all kinds of swords and armaments. It's a very fancy showroom as you pop out on this main floor, and there is a fire in the hearth, but as you get closer, you realize there's no heat from this fire, and so you drop down right in the midst of this illusory flames, and you step out into the hearth. You kind of push the metal grate aside, and you're in. What do you want to do?
I'll go and lock the window for Rook.
Sure, which window? There's 4 of them on that side.
As he's approaching the window, I'm just going to do quick thieves' cant check for traps.
Yeah, so he pulls back a curtain at this corner, and you see each other. You make the motion. You want to check, or you just want to open her up there, Carl?
I wave hysterically with a big grin on my face, and then, yeah? You want me to open a window? I'll open a window.
Check for traps.
Do you
What?
speak?
I can't hear you.
I do the thieves' cant check
If you're a
for
rogue, you do
traps.
speak thieves' cant.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Check for trap. I'll check for traps.
Investigation check, please.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
now that the window's open, I'll take a look as well.
Sure, you can
that
give
it
him
would-
advantage.
Oh yeah.
I'll give him
Yeah, we're all.
advantage. I'll help.
Oh, advantage. Good.
With a 2.
Oh boy, that's much better.
That is a lot better with 16. It does not appear. You do see a series of heavy duty locks on this window, and there's etchings on the glass itself that seem to be maybe arcane, maybe not. And in your head, Rook, you hear your friend whisper. Cat whispers,
Those runes are abjuration. It might be unbreakable glass.
To the tip. Not gonna try to break it.
all right. So after a little while, Pander, you're pretty sure it's not trapped. It is locked on the inside, and it does seem to need a key.
Okay, so is it sleight of hand to?
It's effectively the same as sleight of hand. It's you're proficient
thieves'
in thieves' tools, so you'll be rolling a thieves' tools check to try to unlock the lock.
Dex plus thieves tool proficiency.
Okay. 28.
Wow. All right, you just crack your knuckles and expertly pull like various little tools out and pop it open in a very short time. And Rook, you have access as you kind of slither up and in. You are now in the Richie Rich dining room. All right. We are going to take a little break as you enter Garraxs Emporium of Magical Goods. And we will see whether this continues to be a cakewalk or gets a little more complicated as we continue in just a couple minutes. What are we going to take? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
I might need
Sure.
a little bit extra, just depending how long it takes them to, do their thing.
No problem. And in a
Dog thing.
pinch, we can make you just hit things by default.
Yeah.
Alright, for the rest.
He will rage and hit shit. That's his default. He knows he's just the muscle.
Modus operandi. All right, so we are going to take a short break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll continue with some Dungeons and Dragons. Here we go. Ooh.
Ah.
And then there's the whole
And that concludes our rest. Let's get back to it. Hey, everybody. We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Let's do this. All right. So you're spread out around the various mansion rooms right now. Some of you upstairs, some of you are downstairs. What do you want to do?
So in the room that Pander and I are in, like I surmise that the orb is probably hidden away somewhere. Maybe like
Foolish to put it on display, Calran said.
yeah. I mean, I highly doubt it'd be on display. So I'm thinking with these two guys, it could be in a locked place. They like to use magic. Could be there's some type of illusion or a hidden location in this house. So I want to kind of just start casing
Rook,
and start looking.
You can use one of the flashbacks if you like. It might
Sure.
be helpful. Calran looks at you and kind of sighs. Fine. If it helps to clean up this mess. And he takes off his glasses And he says, here and here. Touch them. And it activates. You can only do it. Roll a d10.
Eight.
You should be able to do it all goddamn day. Or at least 8 times. Here you are. I want those back when you're done. You put them on, he shows you how it works. It's, this is no small deal. They are glasses of true seeing.
Ooh. I put on the glasses and
I'm not
click.
joking. I need those back.
promise.
All right. You have glasses of true seeing, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So you should be able to see magical stuff and see through illusions, through magical darkness, the whole deal, the whole shebang.
Wowzers.
Yeah, those are not a small item. All right. So, what do you? So you're looking around this room. You get 8 charges. So you gotta choose when you're activating them, and I think they'll last for about 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my first charge activation now.
In this room?
Well, it lasts 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So I'm just straight away.
All right. So you put them on, you activate the glasses, and you look around the room. Most of the flashiest stuff is actually not terrifically magical. There's several items in the room that are magical, and a couple of illusory items around, but nothing that... Just more about decoration and being lazy than about any kind of deceptive or hidden rooms or anything. Go ahead and do at least at first glance, I need you to do let's do a perception check.
Okie dokie. Are we
That's
both
Rook.
doing perception?
Sure.
Excuse me. Let's see.
That is one of the side effects of the glasses. They make you sneeze.
They make you sneeze.
No, I'm not actually joking now. That's the thing. They're going to give you disadvantage on stealth checks while you're wearing them.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be a balancing factor here, right?
Okay.
All right. How did you do on perception there, Gordon?
13 and Pander got 17.
All right. So not bad, not bad. So 17 and 13. You don't see, I mean, you see some interesting stuff that might be fun to steal here, but you also see in the glasses, you see these little tendrils kind of stitching across, almost like spider silk, connected to most of the items that appear to be glowing quite magically. There seemed to be a big abjuration kind of sense to these little tendrils, almost like little spider threads that are just keeping things up on the shelves.
Okay. So I just kind of like signed to Pander. If we disturb the threads, it might set off an alarm.
Okay. Don't disrupt the threads.
Yeah, let's not get greedy. Let's keep going.
All right, where do you want to go? Well, actually, there's 2 exits. One is into the main hall, and the other is into a waiting room. You didn't spend much time here, but you did know that that's the same room, audience, where the turtle was fitted for his fancy clothes, just to the south there. So which way do you want to go?
I think we should. I know it's like that other room. We could check it later, but I was thinking of the main hall. Like check if anyone's there, and
Okay, do a perception check for me, please. Actually, you know what? You get it for free with the last one. It's
Okay.
actually Pander who can see it a little better than you. He kind of holds out his hand and motions. You can sense and or hear that there is one person in the hallway, kind of shuffling around. You can hear a slight grunt every once in a while, and then a kind of a very light kind of hammering sound. And you also hear a weird little sound coming from in the hallway.
Is it someone that's moving, or is he just doing something?
There's somebody doing something in the other room, in the hallway. They appear to be
great.
off and to the right a little bit.
The right being north or south?
South. Just slightly around the corner, and you can kind of glance, really like a quick glance to see, like half your eye kind of poking over the side. You can see he's a halfling, halfling man with blonde hair, and he's very finely dressed, and he is busy kind of quietly humming away to himself, and he's tapping with a small hammer, a small silver hammer on top of a little chest, just in the far corner, over here, in just on the south end of this hallway, just barely in it, and the stairs winding up and around, starting at your far left and winding up around clockwise around the room. This is a beautifully accoutrement. It's got all kinds of bells and whistles. It's a room meant to impress people who come in the main door. There are a couple of statues around. You see a couple of crates, a small kind of check-in desk where there's this little kind of a guest book, as it were, and a silver pen. You've actually seen that pen before, and you actually can see the pen itself hovering above the guest check-in area, and it's the thing that's making that weird like kind of sound as it's whipping around the quill, kind of quickly dipping itself into ink and then jotting in some kind of ledger and then jumping back in. This is just directly to your left of the door, right there.
Okay. Let's go check the other room.
All right. Yeah, we can do that.
Before we enter, just checking, seeing if there's anyone in there, if it's occupied.
Any traps?
Any traps,
Sure,
all that
Pander
stuff.
checks for traps, and Rook does a perception check. Go ahead. Investigation for Pander, perception for Rook.
14.
It doesn't sound like anybody's in there right now, and it doesn't appear that there's any traps on the door. It doesn't even seem locked.
Okay. Gonna slowly, try to open it.
Yeah, it opens.
Okay. Enter, and also just before I enter, take a look around. Do I see any, juice with the glasses? Magic or anything of that nature?
In which room? The room you're leaving or the new one?
The new one. I'm going to open the door, but instead of just entering, I'm going to take a look inside.
Sure.
And
So, you look into the room. It is mostly a fitting room for fancier clothing. There's a globe on one side, a low table, a couple of couches, a couple of cushions for people to sit at. It's basically a sitting room and a fitting room. It's a sit-fit room. It's a shitting room.
Okay.
It does have several windows, and then it opens out into the hallway of its own door into the hall on your immediate left after entering from the door that you just came in.
Okay.
It appears to be empty. There's several bolts of fancy cloth, lots of fancy garb around, but there's nothing that stands out as magical.
Okay. The halfling that's working, is he still working away?
Yep, you kind of press your ear to the door and you hear him tapping. Pander, you're kind of looking around, you look at the globe, you check for traps and all this. You can just make something out. It's weird. It's a combination of sounds. This little tiny silver hammer that this halfling is tapping on the crate, but in between the taps, you hear a quiet and then a tap, and a tap, and it's getting quieter with each tap until you can't hear anything.
Hey, boss. A little weird there, man. You know that's happened? I think he's putting somebody in the box, man. Is that normal?
No. Let's take him out.
All right.
So, going to basically check the door, open it, and I'm gonna, as I'm about to do that, sign get ready to take him out. Gonna open the door, gonna shoot him.
All right. You go ahead and make your attack roll. Go ahead and, just for fun, who has the higher dex? You
I have
or
20
Pander?
dex.
He probably has, and I have 17 dex.
All right, so Rook, you get to go first. Make your attack roll. You have advantage.
Okay. 9. Glad it's advantage. 27.
27 is a definite hit, as this person's like, with this tiny little silver hammer. Go ahead and roll your damage and your sneak attack, sir.
Okay. He takes 21.
Ooh, that's a pretty good hit. The arrow hits him, and he immediately drops the hammer, and it's this weird effect. As it hits the ground, you hear the first bounce, and then it spins for a second, and then it clatters against the ground, but it clatters soundlessly. That's like this weird localized effect. The halfling took it in the back, and he's gasped, and he kind of turns to the side. And he pandered. What do you want to do?
I want to do the sneaky sneak and go beside him.
Sure. So you actually quickly dash. The fastest and best way would be to go in the other room, back out the other door now that his back is turned, and scoot up beside him there. So you quickly around the corner. You are next to him. What do you want to do?
Was he concentrating on any spell or anything like that?
No, doesn't seem to be, as he's swearing away in what you can only assume is halfling.
Alright, so I will bonus action hide.
Oh, yep.
Just so I can get advantage.
Yep, totally. You are well hidden. Go ahead. Well, roll a stealth check just to be on the safe side. You have advantage. All right, 21 will do it. So you appear to be unappeared.
Alright, so I will do my dagger attack.
23 is a definitive hit. You can roll to see if you get the crit, though.
Alright, yeah.
All right, 23 It is. Roll your damage, please.
And I'll roll a sneak attack after.
Yep. All right. That's 10 points of damage. Oof. Oh, sorry.
Plus 6
is... So you just...
No, it actually...
It
the sneak attack
automatically
factored in.
It did. It factored it in for you. So that's 10 points of damage. The dagger slips past this armor. And you can feel him, the halfling next to you, just kind of start to slump. But he catches himself. He is still alive. Although he's definitely hurting badly. Blood pouring around. Just drip, drip, drip. And hitting the floor with these soundless... All right. It is now his turn, unless somebody else has something else they want to do.
Wouldn't it be initiative? Was that a surprise round?
That would be the surprise round. Let's take a... You know what? Just for the sake of... yeah, let's do initiative and see how it goes. See who gets to go first. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Not me.
17.
All right, Rook was 17. Then we've got 6 for Pander, and we've got the other guy somewhere in the mix. Okay, Rook, go ahead. What do you want to do? The guy is pretty much fallen to his knees next to Pander.
Bonus action, steady.
Finish him, boss.
Bonus action, steady aim. Gonna hit him.
Yeah. And yeah, that's fair. Go ahead and make your rolls. All right. 21 does hit. Make your damage. And you know what? Don't even bother. Just go ahead and describe it.
Okay.
He had 1 hit point.
Okay. Not even obviously taking a breath, just quietly, I just kind of almost enter the void, and I just kind of take a steady aim, and I just shoot him right in the midsection of the chest, right in the heart.
Yeah, it takes him, and he wordlessly actually stares at you, and he looks at you, and it says his last words as he falls to the ground, forward onto the arrows, because you know that's gotta suck. And he says,
Mother.
and he is no more.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Let's check out this chest. Like, kind of, we assume that he was doing something to someone.
Go ahead and do an investigation check.
Okay.
Pander, you see on the ground there's a small silver hammer that's fallen down.
19.
I'll grab it.
Sure. You got yourself a hammer. A quietening hammer. And go ahead and roll D10 for me there, Carl.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Oh, sorry, D6. D6.
D6?
And yes, Donnie, you always go first with a 20. In
A
chat.
D6.
3. All right, it's got 3 charges left today. You can cast Silence on a 5-foot square using that hammer.
Sweet.
Just a 5-foot square, though. It's a minor effect.
I investigate with a 19.
All right, you kind of pull and pry and prod, and you pop open the top. Inside, you see a woman bound, tied, gagged, and she has rags tied over her eyes. Actually, you recognize it. There's this weird kind of falconry helmet where it blocks the vision.
Oh, it's the little girl. It's the teenage girl.
Sure. Yeah, that's more fun. Yeah, it's the teenage girl. And she's been bound and tied in this. You can see at this close range for the first time that there's kind of 2 headbands. Well, the main one. Actually, sorry, no, just the one headband and the eye covers. And she's wearing the same thing she was wearing the day before, kind of a white dress. Nothing too fancy. Very, very plain. And she's been prepped and shipped, and it actually says the name of another city, so they're sending her to another place. It's true, Darcy. It does sound better than real silence. The sound of silence. All right, so yeah, she's there, and she doesn't seem to be responding. Just kind of hunching in this crate.
Oh. Okay.
Doesn't look good, boss. Doesn't look good.
We can't just leave her here. I'm going to... She's not moving at all?
She's just kind of cowering. While he's making up his... Oh, so go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You can flash
Cutting
to the
back
others and-
to the people up at the top. So while the others are apparently trying to investigate the lower regions, you are in the upper regions, waiting on the balcony. What do you want to do? Islak and Tuog. Tuog, that's it.
I speak Barbarian.
Tuog. Islak is kind of impatiently looking around, but you are. I'm gonna get you to do a perception check for me. Actually, both of you. You've been up here. You've been up here and waiting for a while now.
24.
All right. So 24
10.
and 10. All right. So a couple things. Number one, Islak, they've been keeping you waiting for a really long time. Something's not right. Your instincts are like, you don't know about this. 10, you don't notice much, Tuog, but you do notice one of those statues just blinked. That's it. That's all you got. What do you want to do?
Tuog. Something is awry. We must see what is awry. Let us re-enter the building.
So
Stone blink. And I point.
He'll just look over the
looks like a
stone.
statue. With 23, you can see one of it.
24.
One of them is 24. You see it is now in an ever so slight different position than it was a moment ago. Flash back to a second, back to Calron as he was giving you the briefing. This quite likely they'll be hiding it either in a separate room, probably hidden near the study, or perhaps in those chests you couldn't investigate, or perhaps in some underground kind of boogie lair.
I feel like Tuog, I feel like they're I feel like it's time to stop waiting around. Let's get
And-
what we're looking for.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put away the hand axe and take out. That would be way too obvious, though. Do we want to alert them? Like, would I be able to discern that?
Would Tuog be
No.
able to discern that is the real question.
That's a good question.
Do I can hurt a gargoyle by conventional means? Would I know whether I can
I
kill
mean,
it?
you could try to recall. You have not fought one that I know of.
Well, what would I roll to know if I know?
Let's
In-
do
Ar-
let's do an arcana check.
Okay. Ooh. 20 plus
20.
21 altogether.
Well, they are hard to damage, but you are able to damage it. You know that much.
I feel like I just want to. I feel like it doesn't actually matter. let them. I think the time for stealth has probably passed.
Sir, Tuog hit?
You want to hit?
Yeah.
You can hit. I'm going inside.
And I take out my great axe.
All right. Tuog pulls out
So
the great
Tuog
axe.
wouldn't have known, but he will take direction from Sir.
Fair enough. All right, so you take out the great axe, and the three gargoyles all kind of start turning like all pretenses off, and they all look at each other like, ah. And go ahead and roll initiative, Tuog. Tuog.
And I'll have to also put away. At the same time put away my hand axe.
Yeah, of course.
Because I can't hold both.
Yeah, that's gonna be your surprise round. The surprise of putting it away.
14.
All right, 14. All right, let me jot this down. Hold on. Okay, so Tuog, 14. All right. What about you there, Neutron?
21.
21. Islak. All right, and then
He probably prefers Neutron for short.
fair enough.
Sir Neutron.
Okay, and not bad, not bad. Okay, so Islak, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to go back inside and start flapping around like a crazy person, knocking over everything there is to knock over. It's time to turn from passive distraction into insane distraction. Unlike what happens when a wild pigeon gets into your house and you try to get it out, but you just can't, and it goes crazy, and I'm gonna shit everywhere.
All right.
I'm getting flashbacks from another campaign.
Yeah, and suddenly, apparently, Aarakocra have a feat that allows them feature that allows them to do that. All right. So you go in through the door,
Random drop
and you
rings.
can see the two kind of almost identical human shopkeepers standing there, like very close conversation, but not saying a word, looking at each other. And as you walk in, Islak, they both simultaneously turn and look at you, and then, quite literally, the hits the fan as you start to molt and stomp and just go total cray. You go crazy. You make Britney Spears seem well adjusted. I don't know. It's all kind of all over the place. Go ahead and roll your, I don't know, intimidation, perception, persuasion, deception. I don't know. Roll something for me. Roll for sitting on the rug.
What makes the most sense? Friggin' persuasion, sure. For going ape shitty.
Persuade them you've lost it.
Yeah, 19.
All right, that's pretty good. And they both look at you, and their eyes go completely jet black. Is there anything else you want to do besides just keep them well distracted?
Oh, I'm gonna like fly at them and like, flap at them, and they're near a railing, right? I'm gonna try and like just go at them and
Sure, make an attack
talons
roll.
out, man, and see what happens.
All
yeah,
right.
Let's do an unarmed attack. That seems with talons. I'm gonna talon them.
All right.
18,
That's a hit.
and the
All my
damage.
references are from the late 90s.
The damage is just 3. It's not a lot of damage right there.
That's all right. So you go all in, and you go fluttering, and you bash into them. And I believe you hit. I will confirm that in a moment. That's gonna be a hit with an 18. All right. So it's on like Donkey Kong. You smash into one of them, the one wearing red robes there, and you hit him pretty hard. Roll for damage, please.
Damage was just 3
Okay.
for the talons.
All right. Let me jot
Very
this down.
talons are just scratchy. It's just annoying.
And let me just check something. Okay, cool. So the first one takes a scratch to the forehead, and underneath it just tears away. You see like a crystalline kind of dark blue color underneath where the wound would be normally bleeding, and it's just seeping a little bit of bluish blood. Scratch it on the forearm. You're like, okay. You do have a bonus action. You could do an unarmed attack on them again if you'd like. I would even allow talents.
I get a second attack because of something.
Sure, do it. You can do it on the
Why do I
same
get
or
a second
different.
You're a ranger. Rangers gets
That's-
2 attacks.
That's why. That's the reason. It's because of my awesomeness.
Roger that, Carl.
I will shriek as I do it this time. For 20.
All right, nice. That hits. Roll your damage. Sorry, did you say same or different? Red or green?
5 damage this time.
Same guy or?
Oh, the other guy.
Okay, 5 on him. You just scratch them both up, and they kind of retreat a step away from each other, and they look at each other, and they say,
Yes. It is as we thought.
"All right, yeah, it's true. 3 point. If you were attacking the gargoyles, you'd be sharpening your claws. That was Donnie. All right,
True.
coming up
And,
next,
Okay.
Rook.
Yeah.
Down below. We're gonna do it this way, we're jumping back and forth. Rook, you've got the girl. She's sitting there, head in sheath in this leather band. What do you want to do?
I can't let her just be bound like that, especially what happened to me. So I just start taking like the headband off, like the restraints.
Sure. So you cut the wrist.
I'll do the headband
restraint.
first. I'll be
Okay.
like,
Sure. You cut the headband and she blinks her eyes. She's got these really vibrant yellow eyes. And she looks up at you and there's like a blur of focus for a second. And then she looks at you. And I need you to do a wisdom saving throw.
okay, burr with wisdom saving.
My name's Luke Skywalker. I'm here to save you.
Too short.
2, 9.
Okay, that's a fail. Okay. Oh, good news for you. You only take 4 points of psychic damage. And you
Okay.
immediately flee as far and as fast as you can away. So you go boom against the. You find yourself almost blacked out for a second in this moment of sheer, overwhelming fear and panic as you instinctively want to run. There's a voice inside your head that just says, "Run, run, you must run." And you find yourself clawing at the curtains and the back doors, tearing them down. Do you want to? Unfortunately for you, the doors are locked, so you actually have to spend your action to unlock them. Otherwise, you would have kicked them open and fled out into the backyard. Dissonant whispers. All right. Anything else you want to do there? You've got a bonus action. Oh, I'd say you still have your action. That was your bonus.
Can I do anything? Like I'm gonna try to shake it off and.
Yep. You've shaken it off. You used your reaction. Technically, you have your move and your regular action.
I mean, if I've shaken it off, I'll be like, oh, and I'll go back and just kind of say, hey, like, I mean you no harm.
So you reapproach, like doing this slow walk towards her until you can see her, and you can see her still hiding in this crate, and you see these little fingers kind of poke up near the edge, the wrists bound in leather, and she's looking at you. And this good look at her right now, you can see her eyes, and in the center of her forehead is this red, like opal kind of gem just wedged in, and it's raw and puckered around it. And this has been less than 10 minutes. You look at that, and there's this flicker of magical energy around this tiny little opal, and you're thinking to yourself, I've seen that. I've seen something like that before. But bigger, and not with your own eyes. And it wasn't red then. Okay, that's your turn. Coming up next. Gargoyles. So the gargoyles are looking down at Tuog, and they're just grunting. They kind of click and clack with their wings, kind of unfurling, and they hop down one after another. and then they all start to try and circle around Tuog as you're getting your axe ready, cracking your neck. So one of them circles right around behind you, and the other two kind of get into this weird triangle flank around Tuog on this balcony, and they start to just step closer and closer. Okay, they're gonna try and attack you, Tuog. I'm doing
Sorry,
this whole.
my internet hiccuped.
No
I
worries.
missed that last bit.
Tuog is getting beat on by some gargoyles. So, does a okay, Tuog, does 14 hit your AC?
No.
What about 15?
Yes.
Okay, one hit, and another hit. So 2 hits as they try to claw and bite at you. I'm gonna say you are gonna take 10 points of piercing. Sorry, 5 points of piercing damage, 5 points of slashing damage. However, as you were getting your axe out, yeah, that's it. So they're just kind of hissing and clawing and biting at you. Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't go into my rage during that.
Unfortunately, no.
Because instead I I put away my other thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But they are surrounding you. You're just like, yeah, okay. All right, it is now your turn, Tuog. What do you want to do?
I just kind of scream out, "Tuog mad!" Rage.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna take my great axe and I'm gonna swing at the one in front of me.
All right.
Because
Make
they're
your
kind of
rolls.
like,
They're in a triangle pattern around you, kind of like circling you.
19.
19 hits. Nice job.
Okay.
That's for 5 points of slashing damage. Ah,
Yeah. Not really good damage there. I rolled a nat 1.
You need to add your rage damage
rage
as well.
bonus, which I believe is 2. Yeah, plus 2.
All right, so that's going to be 7 points on the first hit, stacking up with the second 20 hits on the second swing. Still on the same gargoyle?
That was a rage. I don't know why I had to click off that I used one and it rolled that, and I'm not sure
You do get 2
why.
attacks around per turn at this level.
That wasn't my attack though.
Oh,
That was just, it says rage.
Oh, it does. That's weird. Anyway, would
Yeah,
you like
that's
to do
weird.
a second attack?
Yeah, I will, for
All right.
sure. So I'll take my second attack.
You can always go reckless if you felt like it.
With 14.
14 does not it hits, but it doesn't seem to have much impact as you backswing and it kind of catches it in its claw, in its clawed hand, and stops the
Of course,
blade and
that's the one
pushes it
time I
back.
roll a 12.
Yeah. So unfortunately the second one
So-
doesn't hit. All right. That's your
Yeah.
turn. Coming up next.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. You do have your move if
I'm
you
not
want.
gonna move.
Okay.
I'm not going to.
You don't want 3 attacks of opportunity? Come on.
I'll hunker down.
All right. You're just bearing with it. You'll probably get some hits, which will keep the rage up. Coming up next, we've got inside. Islak, you're looking at these old men and they look at each other and their eyes have already gone jet black and they blink and they mutter an incantation and sidestep at exactly the same time. And there's kind of a strange effect as they do it. You see them step, but you also don't. And another 2 of them. And then another 2. And then another 2. And then another 2. As they begin to duplicate themselves in this weird random distribution around the room. Not 5 times. 4 times. There we go. So there are now 4 of the red-robed guys, Garrax shopkeepers, and 4 of the green, all spread out around the room, and they begin to slightly shift into different locations around. So you don't know exactly which ones are the real shopkeepers. All right, and they draw daggers, and they start talking to you, and their voices are drastically different. They say,
Yes, we knew when you looked inside your mind.
and it's this weird kind of thing where one of them talks, and then the other one, and the other one, it's passing around the room, so it's almost impossible to tell which one's which.
We knew that you were up to something. Who sent you? Tell us, or we'll carve it out of you.
You know the problem with trying to get information out of someone? They have to know what they're doing. And one thing about me is, I have no idea what I'm doing.
All right.
If it's his turn, he's gonna do some weird shit.
All right, in a second it will be. Coming up next, it is Pander.
All right. So she's not still in the box, eh?
She is still in the box, and you're also still on the mission to try to find a way down or find a way to. You're looking around. She's sitting in the box still, and you can see her, and you've got your little you're standing there. What do you want to do?
So I see Rook that he fled.
He did, but then he came back and he was saying like, "Hey, we're here to help you." And she doesn't. She looks afraid. She doesn't look like she's hostile per se.
I'll just try and support Rook's message.
Sure. How do you do that?
So persuade her. I'll just say, hey, it's all good, man. We're here to help. I'm here to help.
Can you take them? Can you carve them from my mind? Can you please kill me?
What else can I do?
No one gets away. No one gets away from them. Not from them. Not from
From who?
him.
From who? Tell me who.
From the brothers Garrax. Or their master. The one.
You know where they are?
I've been in a box. I don't know.
Well, in all fairness, you've only been in the box for about 2 minutes.
They went that way, I think. They keep me here. They were lent me by the master.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna follow the direction she pointed.
It's up the stairs.
All right.
All right. So you can spend your movement. You're pretty close to the stairwell. So you cross the room. You can see at the top, and you can hear something going like bird. I think a new term. Bird crazy. That's what it is. And you can hear all the flapping and fluttering as soon as you step out into that main hall. And you look up and you can see the dust and the feathers. And you can now see 8 little men all mirroring each other. And you can get to the base of the stairs on your basic movement. And you still have your action and your bonus action if you want it.
I'll use my bonus action to dash up.
Nice. Okay, so running around, you are now. You can get to the top of the stairs. You're actually base to base with one of the guys in red, if you so choose.
Oh fuck! They look mean. I'm gonna stab them.
All right, go ahead and make your roll.
And it's a crit.
All right, I need to look something up real quick. Hold on. 1 second. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, 1 second. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. I'll let you roll it. Actually, okay, 15. Okay, so, okay, so you swing with a crit. You just like whip out your dagger right in the back of the neck, like full tilt. Would have been perfect shot. It would have executed, except it just disappears as soon as you stab it.
Fuck, I'm good.
All right. That one is no more. Okay, next time. That's, I believe, the end of your turn. Coming up next, top of the order, Islak.
Okay, as a bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step.
Sure, where are you going?
Let's say around here.
I don't
Make
think
myself. Oh, like just down to the other end of the hall, pretty much. It's far enough away, like here,
sure.
where I can still see them. And then I'm going to use Gust of Wind upon them.
Nice. All right. So, your
Which
gust
is that
of
they
wind.
have to make a what do they have to make? Strength saving throw. Not to be pushed by the wind.
By the wind. All right. Okay. So you this torrent of air just whooshing down the hall. And it. How long does it go? Like the length of it?
It's concentration, so I can.
No, I mean
keep
the
it-
distance.
Oh,
This is the spell, not the cantrip, right?
yes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spell- 60 feet.
Oh, hey, so it fills the entire space.
Yeah,
oh,
and so they have to. So the save, I think, is against my strength, isn't it? Which is 13.
it's against your DC, basically. So
Which is what is my DC?
I'll leave between you and your character sheet. So there's
Oh,
gust
13.
of wind. Sorry,
13.
13.
13.
Okay, so they would need to do that as they. So we'll just do. I think you can hit, let's say, 4 of them and Pander. So Pander, do a strength saving throw. You have to beat.
Well, it's 10 feet wide by 60 feet long of air, and I can.
You can steer it.
So, yeah, I can steer it. So essentially, anybody that's caught in it has to beat the.
All right.
DC.
So all of them and Pander, the first one, actually, this guy right at the front, he saves and his robes are whipping around him and like sideways and turns and he's just like trying to walk into the wind towards you. All the others get pushed. How far?
15 feet away.
Thunk. Thunk. They're slamming into the wall at the far end of the hall and Pander just gets flung away. Pander, I'm gonna need you to roll a well, let's just say evens or odds, d6.
I was kind of trying not to hit him, but it's only so.
All right, that's a 1. I'm gonna count that as a nat 1. So you end up being pushed down the stairs. Please do an acrobatics check for me.
Nice.
Oh, nice. You're gonna take half damage as you fall down the stairs. It's not the wind just knocked you off balance, but unfortunately you were right at the top of the stairs, so you went the wrong way, and but you managed to just tumble over and just expertly and land. Yeah, you lift a few feet off the floor there, Islak, as you're like, as it's pushing you up and filling your wings. You're like, yes. That was from Donnie, by the way. So you fall down about halfway down the stairs, but catch yourself halfway there, Pander, and you take... let me roll the d10 again. I missed it. You would take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
All right. Now,
Yeah,
technically...
Todd, I'm going to have to go soon, man.
I was going to say, we can keep going a little bit more, or we can pause it here and pick it up next week. I can keep going for a little bit longer if you guys want to.
I can keep going for a little bit longer.
Like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
All right. 15's good.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So that is Islak's turn. Rook, back down below. You're talking to the little witch or somebody in the box.
When I see her, so she has a pendant on her forehead.
She does, and it because you're wearing those glasses. You can get it. You see it and you recognize it. Not quite as good as an identify spell, but you can immediately sense what this is, and you get these flashes, almost like a cut to like the history of this a little bit. Like you can see this little girl showing magical intent as you look at her, and you hear voices whispering. And she is already halfway gone. Maybe that's the weird connection. You can see her being picked up off of the streets, her parents being proud of her magical abilities. You get to go to the academy and learn a lot, Matilda. And then the next voice that you hear is like her father's voice. He's like, no, you go with them, you train hard, they'll show you how to do. And then she goes off, and you can see this Garrax-looking guy, but slightly taller version of him, and he's like, he takes her away, and she casts a look back to her family, and then boom, you cut to training, and they're in a small room, and he's holding her hands, and she's making stuff happen, like magical prestidigitation stuff. She's a magic user, and he is feigning pride, but then you see him leave the room, and he calls her like this. The magical cur will be ready for gelding soon. And so then he says to an almost identical, but slightly taller version of himself, the master will be pleased, the other one answers. And then they cut to the next scene where it's a ritual of some kind, and they've got this weird apparatus, and there's this strange like sense in the room, even in her memory, of this terrifying presence just out of view over there. And then they take this band around her head and sear her head with this red hot pearl that they take and press in, and it sinks in and burns in and anchors in. And then you cut to her trying to run away, and at a single word, one of the Garraxs just goes, Zelb, and just whatever word it was that he said, and you don't even know. It's almost like static for a second. It's kind of blanked out in her memory, but the word, the gemstone glows white, like almost white hot again, and she falls to her knees in like screaming in pain, clutching her forehead. Yes. And now you'll see why you must obey. Yes? Good. Lessons over. Sorry, I did the wrong voice. I was supposed to be. Well, now you'll see why we'll obey. And then boom, you're back in the room with her. What do you want to do?
Okay, wait right here. I'm gonna go take care of the Garrax, and then help you out. And I'm just gonna go after Pander and the others and enter, because I assume there's some type of shit going on.
Sure, do a quick perception check for me.
Okay.
Okay. With an 18, as you're running by, you hear this very slight from your far right, and at the base you see the entrance to what looks like the kitchen, as the quill just through there and scoots through there and just starts flying through the kitchen and away. You can keep going upstairs.
Oh no. No, damn it. I'm gonna follow it.
Okay. You turn in your tracks and book it. You can see it at the far end of the room as it's going over these tables with prepared foods and so on. You can even see some of the pots and stuff are all churning themselves and stirring. The spoons and the cutlery do all seem alive in a very magical type kitchen. And the tiny quill is quickly zipping its way over to the far end of the room, headed for there are 2 doors other than the ones you entered, and a small closet, at least at a glance. You see 2 doors, one side to the north, another to the south. The one to the south is slightly open, but it's booking for the one slightly to the north, and it's desperately trying to like click itself into the handle and like wrap its feather around the handle and try to open it, and it kind of looks back towards you as you enter the room.
I'm gonna let it do its thing, like, you know. Is it gonna open the door?
Yep, it eventually does open the door and scoots just a little crack and just enough for it to zip through, and it goes through, and then the door slams like it. You hear it like hit the door behind it with some force, and then the door slowly click just as you get up to it, and then you hear of a lock going into place.
Can I try to unlock it? Like, is
Sure.
it?
Yep. You can go ahead and sleight of hand.
Okay. 25.
Damn, that's definitely gonna do it. All right. Do a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. Plus, let's see my dex saving throw. Okay. 25.
Ooh, 25. Nice. So,
All right.
now if you have a special ability allowing you to get out of the way so you don't take damage, otherwise you were going to take half damage because you made the save.
No, I don't have like some type of special ability to
No
get me
evasion
out of the
or
way.
anything yet. Okay. So
Not till next level.
right. So as you pull your fingers back, you just get this little scratch on one of your fingers as the needle goes, as the trap goes off. You don't take the worst of it, though. You only take 3 points of poison damage.
I think that I have an ability against poison.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't need to bleed, breathe, or poison.
yeah, basically I have advantage against, like, I think I'm resistant to poison or
Sure,
something
you
like
can take
that.
1 point of poison damage.
Done.
And you are considered poisoned. So you are at disadvantage on lots of things. As this ever so... Oh, actually you made the save. So it's not enough in there. You'd need more of a dose. So you manage to get the door open, and you stick your head around the corner just as the quill, like, it doesn't bother with stairs, so it just jumps over the railing, or zips over the railing and drops down below as these stairs descend. You want to follow it? Or as it almost is out of sight now at the base of those stairs?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to follow it. I think it's trying to do something, and it might lead me to the orb.
So you're going to need to use your bonus action to dash after it?
Yep.
Okay. And you get down to the base of the stairs. And it's pitch black down there. And as you go walking, you see these runes written on the wall. And takes you a second. You're like, wait, you only see them because of your glasses, and you can read something. It's not a spell. It's a warning. And it says, enter and beware. Service or death await. Okay, that's your turn. Okay, come on. Gargoyles. Gargoyles take swings at Tuog. What's your name?
Fog.
Tuog. That's it. 2 hits and
I've broken
4 hits.
Todd.
You've broken me. I am done for. So that is 4 hits in total for a total of 20 points of piercing and/or slashing damage. But I imagine it's half. So 10 points of piercing and slashing damage as these 3 gargoyles all surround you and just trying to take chunks out of you. All right, that's their turn. And it's now Twog's turn.
Okay, I'm going to. They're hitting me anyway.
Yep.
So I'm going to reckless.
Yeah, you will. Reckless. Let's get reckless.
I mean, how? And
Barbarian runs.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to Great Weapon Master.
I don't think you need to bonus action that, do you? I think it's just on.
Oh,
Just
on
decide
it.
to use it. Yeah.
If I reduce them to 0, then I can have on the bonus
Right.
action.
All right,
Okay.
start
Yeah.
making some swings.
Still getting used to this character.
With advantage.
I've never played one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with advantage.
-5 to hit, plus 10 damage.
Let's see. So 22 minus 5,
17.
17. Does that hit?
That's a hit.
Okay, so
And which one? The one you
that's
hit before or
7
something else?
the one I hit before. That's
right.
17, 18, 19 damage.
Whoa, that's a lot of damage. All right. 19 points of damage. Boom.
High
that's
risk,
a heavy
high
hit.
reward.
Absolutely. Second swing.
I'm gonna try to get rid of him. So
Do
at
it
least
again.
only 2 of them are nailing
The
me.
first one takes a big chunk out of his shoulder as stone and pebbles go off to the side.
Yeah, I don't
You're hurting
think
it.
that
but
one.
it's still
That's
pretty
only a
solid.
14.
No bonuses or anything?
No,
You're so close.
it's -5, so it's a 14.
You were so close. Unfortunately, that
Wait,
you're
does
reckless.
the reckless last?
You get
Or
advantage.
does the Great Weapon Master last for both? Do I
yeah,
still have to?
yeah. But you're doing
Okay.
reckless, I think. Yeah, so you get advantage on that. So that's the
did.
19.
Yeah, unfortunately, 19 doesn't cut
No,
it.
19 hits though. Sorry, 14 missed.
It's 19
19.
minus
But it's
5 though.
5.
Oh, it's -5.
It's
right,
only 14.
right.
Yeah.
I keep missing that. All right, unfortunately, the second one
okay.
just bang, and they kind of glances off the stone at a slightly not quite enough angle. All right, they are pretty tough creatures.
And yeah, I think I can't bonus action.
This one
or
is
do
looking
anything.
bloodied, but you can do a bonus melee action if you want to.
It's. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just melee.
Sure.
You're like unarmed. You can kick one of
Oh,
them.
unarmed?
Yep.
Okay. What the heck? Why not?
Sure. You could also switch it to try for a push if you'd like, rather than damage. Just shove one of them off of you.
But that's at a normal. Or is that still reckless?
Everything's reckless this round. This is the one that's kind of hurt. The one I just marked.
All right.
The other ones are taking
No.
chunks out of you.
I don't think it'll do any good. It's only
Okay.
11.
All right. Unfortunately, that's a miss. All right.
Yeah.
That's your turn. Okay, coming up next. In the other room, all the various doppelgangers. The one in red turns and looks towards the fallen the halfling Pander that was just snuck up on him, and looks at him and hisses at you and says, "We've got company. You take that one." And he points down the hall towards the Aarakocra, and then this guy turns towards Pander, and there's a weird effect that happens as he shifts and becomes Pander. And they all kind of shift positions. And now there are 3 Panders all running down towards the other Pander.
It's fucked up, but I gotta go, buds.
No worries, man. This is as you charge down at yourself. Thanks very much for playing, man. And
Bye,
meanwhile,
girl.
the other one decides to
Ow.
shift and become. Sure, let's do all Panders. As they all shift and become Pander, and they all begin to move towards their respective enemies. And let's see if those 4 can get over towards Islak. Ooh.
So they still have to resist the wind.
Yeah. And so
So it goes for a full minute.
yeah, they try to move through the wind, and all 4 of them are having such a hard time as you're just steering it towards, and they're just staying put, and then losing ground and going backwards as you're shoving them back, and they're almost all piled up at the top of the stairs there. The 3 that went after Pander, the 3 Panders that are going after Pander, all go running down the stairs and drawing daggers. They're going to try and attack Pander. This is with advantage. I know he's not here, but we'll resolve this in a sec. Oh wait, he's gone, right? Yeah, he's gone. All right. Unfortunately, I think that's where we may have to cut it because they were all running towards Pander to make with the stabby stab. So I think we're going to stop there. Might be a good spot as you're all facing some pretty nasty little critters. Okay. I think that's it. I should stop. I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I don't know about you guys. All right. Well, I'm curious. What do you think so far? Madness?
Oh, I got a sponsor too, by the way.
Ooh, that always makes me happy. All right, and internet. While we're wrapping up here, and we can always use suggestions, and other players always use suggestions for an episode name. So think about that. Make suggestions in chat, or tell me if you're here. And Steve, you've got a message from our sponsor. Do you need a few minutes? Do you want to do it right now?
Oh, they're always better totally improvised.
All right. Without further ado, a word from our tonight's sponsor. Take it away, Steve.
This video is sponsored by the mobile action game Very Angry Birds. Choose your character in many colors: gray, green, purple, orange, red, blue, yellow, indigo, violet, or even royal blue. With real high-speed shitting action, your bird can flap around sending bits of feathers and acidic shit in any direction you want. Good with arrows, good with magic, good with teleportation, good with just being holier than thou. Use your bird to just generally be an asshole.
Got a
Sign
problem?
up now.
Yeah.
Use the code WHATTHEFUCK and get a free 200 gold to start your character off. Download Very Angry Birds now. Link in the description.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. All right. Oh, got that echo on. All right. Well done and very angry bird indeed. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Do we have suggestions for tonight's game?
Hard to say. Showdown at Garrax.
Showdown at Garrax. Yeah.
I'm glad that all relatively organically came together. I was going to be like all over the map. You still have a couple more flashbacks left if anybody needs them. But we are using them up.
I didn't really get the point of the flashbacks other than...
Basically to give you something like, we thought of it as it went and it was very possible. So he got the glasses of true vision. You can make a plan, and then if it doesn't pan out well, be like, it's a stupid plan anyway. And then go back, maybe that kind of thing. Those are the flashbacks. They're the savior bacon.
Okay.
So you can literally just narrate your way through until you run into an obstacle of death. And then
What I meant to say was,
exactly.
Okay.
I meant to, but not just like simple rerolls. Like let's lean in hard into this. Like we'll see how it all works.
Or
We'll see if I need to use one soon. Right? Like I'm kind of...
Yeah, you're running off into the dungeon by yourself. It's great. I love it.
Instantaneous retcon.
Instantaneous retcon, exactly. I mean, that could be tonight's episode title. Although it was not instantaneous. That was like 3 hours. All right. Steve, is there a Shadowrun tomorrow?
There is, in fact, tomorrow a Shadowrun.
Fan-freaking-tastic. So check that out. We have a TikTok. I don't know if anybody mentioned that, but I have been throwing a few things up on TikTok. So you can... Darcy's just saying in chat, usually it's less retcon and more of this. This happened in the time we skipped. Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of say, but remember, I remember that time that I got the thing that I needed, or we'll figure it out. All right. So last chance for any suggestions. Anybody?
I have no idea. Holy
crap. Be on Showdown at Garrax.
Yeah, Showdown at Garrax. All right, sounds good. All right, everybody. Thanks very much for coming. Good to see you. Thanks again. And I hope you had fun with trying on a different character for a change. All right. I'm going to get going. I just have to find the button. All right, don't forget to hit the button, the like, the follow if you enjoy our stuff. You get the updates, all that jazz. Support us, make us feel the loves. And check it out on podcasts and the other places. I'm tired. It's good. Go to bed. All right. Good night, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more role-playing game madness. This time, Future Edition. Peace and hugs. See you later, Donnie. Thanks very much to Darcy and Donnie for playing vicariously. And we'll see you. We'll see both of you tomorrow. And everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow, too. Take care. Good night.
All right, dudes.